All right, so get this right. We are diving deep today into a conspiracy theory that just won't go away.
Oh, which one?
It's the one about, like, Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
Oh, yeah. Them and the Illuminati, right.
Exactly. That whole thing about them secretly being, part of the Illuminati.
Yeah, that shadowy group that's supposedly, like, controlling everything.
Supposedly, yeah. Behind the scenes, pulling all the strings, all that jazz.
Right, right. So are we, like, trying to debunk this, or?
No, no, no. That's not really the point here. I mean, everyone's got their own thoughts on it already.
Yeah, yeah.
What we're doing is, like, we're going to look at the arguments, that are out there
Okay.
from the sources we have, and we're going to, like, really explore why this theory is so captivating to people.
Right. It's definitely a popular one. I mean, this idea of a powerful hidden group influencing everything, especially in music and entertainment.
Right.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But with Jay-Z and Beyoncé, it feels like they became like the poster couple for it.
Right. Exactly.
Like in the early 2000s, that's when it really took off.
Exactly. And I think because they are, like, two of the biggest names in music,
Of course.
people are they're naturally curious, right? They
Yeah.
want to try and dig deeper, find those quote-unquote hidden meanings. But wasn't the real Illuminati, like, way back when, a historical thing?
You're absolutely right. Like the original Illuminati, that was a real group
Okay.
founded way, way back in Bavaria, 1776.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, they were basically intellectuals, free thinkers, kind of an academic society.
Hmm.
And honestly, they were shut down pretty quickly.
Okay.
But conspiracy theories, they often latch on to these, historical groups and start imagining,
Uh-huh.
like, what if they never actually went away?
Right, right. That makes so that's where the historical kind of basis gets all mixed up with the modern theory.
Exactly.
Okay. But what's the connection specifically to music then?
Well, this modern version of the Illuminati theory,
Yeah.
it basically claims they control, like, everything.
Everything. Okay.
Finance, politics, and yeah, even pop culture.
Okay.
And when you have, like, these artists achieving crazy success,
Uh-huh.
some people start to look for explanations that go beyond just talent and hard work.
Oh, I see. I see. So that's where Jay-Z and Beyoncé come into the picture.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the, like, quote unquote evidence.
Okay.
Because I know that, like, symbolism plays a massive role in this whole theory. Like, take Jay-Z's Rockation hand sign, that diamond shape he makes with his hands.
Right.
I always just assumed that was, just a record label thing.
Yeah, you're right. It is associated with Rockefeller Records,
Uh-huh.
which he founded.
Yeah.
But conspiracy theorists, they look at that and see the Eye of Providence.
Oh, interesting.
That, like, all-seeing eye symbol linked to groups like the Freemasons.
Okay.
It adds like a whole other layer of meaning to a simple hand gesture.
Oh, so a simple thing, a gesture, it gets, like, pulled into this web of, secret societies.
Exactly.
Hidden meanings. And it's not just Jay-Z, right?
Right.
Beyonce's performances and music videos get the same treatment.
Absolutely. Like everything, you name it.
Okay.
Pyramid shapes, eyes, occult symbols, outfits that resemble Freemason or ancient Egyptian imagery.
Wow.
It's all seen as evidence. Even her Sasha Fierce persona.
Oh, right, right.
That gets debated too. Like, is it just a stage persona or is it a sign of some, deeper transformation?
Deeper, yeah, okay. But doesn't this focus on symbolism? Doesn't it make the theory kind of too broad?
Right.
I mean, couldn't you interpret almost anything as a secret sign if you look hard enough?
You're totally right. And that's like a key point here. This like pattern seeking.
Mm-hmm.
It's so common in conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
It's like confirmation bias almost. You see what you're looking for.
Right.
Even if the connections might be totally subjective.
Totally. So it's not just symbols.
No.
There's also this idea that, like, bloodlines are a requirement to be part of the Illuminati.
Right? Like, the theory claims that the Illuminati maintain their power through specific families,
Mm-hmm.
potentially including politicians and celebrities with ties to, like, aristocracy or ancient bloodlines.
Okay, but how does that work with Jay-Z and Beyoncé?
Right.
They both came from pretty humble beginnings, right?
Exactly. And their success, it's undeniable.
Right.
But the theory suggests that the Illuminati, they kind of like invite individuals into their ranks
Uh-huh.
based on them achieving a certain level of power and influence.
Okay.
So their success, according to this theory, isn't really theirs. It's orchestrated. It's not purely merit-based.
Oh, so it's like their extraordinary success is what makes people suspicious in the first place, because it's like hard to believe that they could reach those heights without some like hidden hand helping them along the way.
Exactly. It feeds into this suspicion of, extraordinary success. The question of, is the system truly fair?
Right.
Or are there these, like, hidden forces controlling who gets to be at the top?
So we've got the symbols, the bloodlines.
Yeah?
But this theory's got a darker side too, right?
Right.
The whole idea of initiation rituals and sacrifices.
Oh, yeah. That's where things get intense.
Okay.
The belief is that, like, to join the Illuminati, you have to prove your loyalty,
Uh-huh.
often through some kind of sacrifice,
Sacrifice, okay.
whether it's personal, financial, or even something, darker.
Hold on, darker. Like, what are we even talking about here?
Well, there are these theories that artists have to give up things, make like really tough choices, or even engage in, well, let's just say the theories get pretty wild.
Okay, so we're in like really murky territory now, huh?
Yeah, and it often gets connected back to that Kanye West quote.
Oh, right.
You have to give up something to be in this game.
I see. So Kanye's quote, which was already like debated a ton, gets woven into this narrative of like sacrifices and hidden pacts.
Right, it all kind of gets blended together.
But is there any proof of these rituals, or is it all just like speculation based on these vague statements and interpretations?
Honestly, that's the thing with conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
They thrive on speculation, connecting dots even when those connections are, like, super flimsy.
Oh, so you're saying it's like solving a puzzle, but instead of having like concrete pieces,
Exactly.
you're working with interpretations and speculation.
Yeah, it's all about how you piece things together.
Okay, okay. I'm kind of starting to get the appeal now, but this is heavy stuff. What other aspects of the theory are there?
Well, things take an even darker turn when the theory tries to explain certain tragic events, in the music industry.
Okay, darker than ritual and sacrifices. All right, lay it on me.
For example, like deaths. They aren't seen as just accidents,
Oh, no.
but as calculated moves,
Bye.
the Illuminati, to maintain their power.
Whoa, hold on. This is where it gets like really unsettling, right? Like, what events are we even talking about here?
Well, like, think about the death of Aaliyah
Oh, right. That was so tragic.
in a plane crash. Horrific. Some people, they believe it wasn't an accident.
Rip.
They think it was an Illuminati sacrifice.
That's incredibly sad. And to like speculate on something so tragic, I don't even know what to say.
Right. It is deeply unsettling.
Yeah,
But those are the types of interpretations that feed the theory,
I guess so, yeah.
even if there's zero concrete evidence to back them up.
Are there other like examples like this one?
Well, you got the murder of Biggie Smalls, too,
Right, of course.
who was once, Jay-Z's rival.
Yeah.
That's another event that's pulled into this whole thing.
The theories are that he knew too much.
Yeah, or crossed the wrong people. Paid the ultimate price, they say.
So it's like any tragedy in music, especially with people linked to Jay-Z and Beyoncé,
Mm-hmm.
becomes part of the Illuminati story.
Exactly. It's like the theory tries to make sense of what can't be explained.
Right.
Like it seeks this deeper, darker meaning behind events that might just have, simpler explanations.
Wow. So we've covered what? Symbols, bloodlines, rituals, and now tragic deaths as like evidence.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
This is a lot to process.
It is, and we haven't even really scratched the surface of why this theory is so persistent.
Even without concrete proof. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I think we need to like take a break here.
Sounds good.
This is a lot to digest. We'll be right back to explore like why people believe this theory and what it might say about us. All right. So we've just like gone deep into some intense stuff with this theory.
Yeah, no kidding.
But what like really gets me is like, why does this idea of Jay-Z and Beyoncé being in the Illuminati, why does it like grip people so much?
It's a good question. Why does it stick around even without, like, solid evidence?
Yeah, why?
I think it says something about us, as humans. Like, we have this need to make sense of things, especially when we're talking about massive success. We see these huge figures, Jay-Z, Beyoncé.
Right.
It's only natural to wonder, how'd they get there?
Yeah, how to get it.
And the Illuminati, they give you a nice, neat answer.
Like they had help, they made a deal.
Yeah, it enforced pushing them up.
So you're saying it's easier to buy into a big conspiracy than to just accept, like, maybe they worked their butts off.
It's tempting, right?
Yeah.
Especially in a world where success can feel, I don't know, random, unfair even.
Right. It's like, is it really a meritocracy? Does hard work really guarantee success?
You start to question it when you see people like them seemingly untouchable.
Right. And the Illuminati theory, with all its, like, mystery and hidden power,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of gives you a sense of order, in a world that feels kind of crazy and unpredictable.
Totally. It's like a way to explain it.
So it's not just about explaining, like, how they got so successful. It's about feeling like you understand the world a little better.
Yeah, even if that understanding is based on, well, a conspiracy theory.
Right, right. But don't forget, like, there's a kind of thrill to the mystery itself.
Right? Absolutely. Conspiracy theories, they're all about secrets, forbidden knowledge, the things we're not supposed to know.
Yeah, and that's exciting to explore.
Of course. Even if you don't, like, fully believe it.
So you're telling me it's like a puzzle that's always changing, new clues popping up all the time.
That's the fun of it. You get new interpretations.
But how does the music industry itself, like, feed into this whole thing?
Well, think about it. The music industry is all about image,
Mm-hmm.
symbolism, creating that aura of mystery around its stars.
Right, right,
It's a world of, like, stage personas, big performances,
right.
lyrics that can mean different things to different people. It's like the perfect breeding ground for conspiracy theories.
So you're saying the industry's own focus on, like, image and symbolism,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of accidentally fuels this whole theory?
In a way, yeah. The industry sets up this environment where everything becomes like a potential clue.
A hidden message.
Yeah, something waiting to be decoded. And don't forget, ambiguity sells.
Oh, right. Like, the less an artist says, the more people will speculate.
They'll fill in the gaps themselves, is how it works.
Okay, so we've got the psychology of it, the, like, excitement of the unknown, the role of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But do these theories, like, actually affect anything in the real world?
Yeah, that's a big question.
Does any of this even matter?
It does. Conspiracy theories, when they get big enough, they can have real consequences.
Oh, okay.
Like, they can erode trust in institutions,
Uh-huh.
fuel suspicion, paranoia, even lead to people doing harmful things.
Harmful things? Like, what do you mean?
Well, we've seen how these theories can lead to, like, harassment.
Harassment of...
People who are seen as, like, part of the conspiracy.
Oh, right, right.
It creates this climate of fear
Yeah.
where people are afraid to speak out.
So it's not all just harmless fun and games.
Not always, no. It can mess with people's lives.
In a bad way.
In a bad way, yeah. So that's why it's important to, like, think critically, question things.
Be skeptical.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got to be mindful of the stuff we see and hear.
Definitely.
And how we interpret it, right?
Right.
It's easy to get caught up in the, like, excitement of a conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah.
But it's important to remember, like, what it can lead to.
The potential consequences.
Okay, now, what about Jay-Z and Beyoncé themselves?
Mhm.
Where do they stand on all this Illuminati talk?
They've never really addressed it directly.
Never. Like, not at all.
I mean, there have been hints, like things in their music, maybe a little wink here and there,
Okay.
but no outright, like, guess we're in it, or no, it's all nonsense.
So they're being kind of mysterious about it.
You could say that.
Do you think they, like, enjoy the mystery, or is it a burden?
It's hard to tell. Could be a strategy.
The strategy for
To
it.
keep people interested.
Yeah.
Keep the buzz going. Or maybe they're just, like, fed up with the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe they'd rather just focus on their music.
Maybe. It's got to be weird, though, right? To have everything you do get analyzed for, like, hidden meanings?
Oh, I bet. Every lyric, every symbol, every move on stage. Mm-hmm. It's got to mess with your creative process. Oh, for sure. It makes you wonder how much of it, like, limits their artistic freedom.
Yeah, it makes you think. It raises all sorts of questions about, like, artists and their fans.
Right.
Who gets to decide what something means, for free?
Okay, so we've covered the appeal, the impact it has, the role of the industry, and the artists themselves. But I'm still curious.
Yeah.
Is there any actual evidence that the Illuminati, like the way it's described in this theory, that it even exists?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's
Yeah.
one that, well, we're going to dig into that in the last part of our deep dive.
All right, so we've, like, gone through all the twists and turns of this Illuminati thing.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But the big question is still out there.
The million-dollar question.
Is there, like, any real evidence
Right.
to back up this idea of an all-powerful group,
Mm-hmm.
controlling everything from behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's the one everyone wants to know, right? And well, it's tricky.
Tricky how?
Like, it's not a simple yes or no answer.
Okay, okay.
Like, the historical Illuminati, the one from way back in Bavaria,
Yeah.
that group definitely existed.
Okay, so we've got historical records and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we've got documents, memberships, all that.
So that part is, like, factual.
Totally.
But what about this modern-day Illuminati, the one that's supposedly running the show in music, politics, even global events?
Right, right.
Like, is there any proof that that version is real?
Well, that's where the, like, solid evidence kind of disappears.
Disappears, huh? So we're talking speculation then.
Pretty much, yeah. Interpretations connecting dots that might not even be related.
Okay, so no secret meetings, no leaked documents, no one's like come clean and confessed.
Not that we know of, no.
And I guess that's part of what makes these conspiracy theories so, like, gripping, right?
Right.
They thrive on the fact that there's no real proof.
It's all about the mystery.
It's like you can just, like, fill in the gaps with your own ideas and create a story that sounds convincing.
Yeah, even without hard evidence.
It's like a choose your own adventure, but with conspiracy theories.
You got
You pick and choose the evidence to fit the story you want to believe.
exactly.
But if there's no real proof, why
Yeah.
do people, like, cling to this idea so much?
I think it comes back to that human need
What need?
to understand things, to find patterns, to explain things.
Especially when things seem totally random.
Exactly. Or like chaotic, right?
Yeah, and the Illuminati theory, it kind of gives me a framework,
It does.
like a sense that someone's in charge, even if it's this like shadowy group.
It's a way to make sense of the world,
Right.
For some people, it's more appealing than just accepting that maybe things just happen.
So it's not really about facts then.
Not always, no.
It's more about like feeling better psychologically.
I think so, yeah. It gives you a sense of control, like someone's at the wheel, even if it's this mysterious group.
I can see how that'd be comforting for people, especially when things are uncertain or scary.
Definitely.
But what about Jay-Z and Beyoncé and all this?
Right, right.
Do they like get anything out of this theory?
Even if they're not actually involved?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good question. Whether they meant to or not, all this mystery about them and the Illuminati, it's definitely helped their image.
Has it? How so?
It's kept them in the spotlight,
Oh, I see. It's like free publicity.
It adds a layer of intrigue.
It's a little danger, a little excitement.
Yeah, and that's really attractive,
It is.
So they might be benefiting from all the speculation, even if they're not the ones, like, stirring it up.
So it's like they're winning either way.
In a way, yeah.
It really makes you think about how much ambiguity plays a role in celebrity.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, they've never actually denied the rumors.
Nope.
They could totally shut it all down with like one statement.
They could, but they haven't.
Makes you wonder why.
It does, doesn't it?
Are they doing it on purpose?
Maybe.
Or are they just trying to protect their privacy or like their creative freedom?
It's tough to say, But as long as they keep quiet, people keep guessing, keep talking, keep them relevant.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the entertainment world, that's gold.
Okay, so even if the Illuminati, like the one everyone imagines,
Mhm.
the all-powerful puppet masters, even if that's not real,
Yeah.
the belief in it, it still has an effect on things, right?
It does.
It changes how we see these artists, how we understand their music,
Totally.
maybe even how we see the world in general.
You got it. The power of belief, even if it's based on like a made-up story, it can be really strong.
Yeah.
It affects how we see things, how we judge things, even how we act.
So where does that leave us? What are we supposed to do with all this?
Well, I think the biggest thing is to really learn how to think critically.
You mean like not just believing everything we see and hear?
Exactly, especially when it comes to these, conspiracy theories.
So check your sources, look for real evidence.
Yep, and be open to changing your mind.
If you find out new information.
Right.
So it's about being like smart about the information we take in, right? Not just like absorbing whatever's thrown at us.
That's it.
We have to be active participants.
Exactly.
And it's okay to be skeptical too, right? To question things that sound a little fishy.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's how we avoid falling for, like, misinformation and all that.
Well said. So we may never know the whole truth about Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and the Illuminati.
Probably not.
But this deep dive, it's taught us something bigger, right?
I think so, yeah.
It's about understanding why these theories are so appealing, how they can affect things, and the importance of like really thinking things through, especially in a world that's full of information all the time.
And who knows, maybe this whole conversation has sparked something for you,
Some new questions, new things to look into.
Exactly. The best deep dives are the ones that leave you wanting to know more, to keep searching, to keep digging.
I think that's a great place to wrap things up. Thanks for joining us on this journey into one of music's biggest conspiracy theories.
It's been fun.
Until next time, keep those questions coming, keep exploring, and keep an open mind.